Hi guys, I'm Iman and this is my first YouTube video, and this is on olevels Park Studies paper 1. If you want to know more about me, I just gave my Park Studies exam back in 2025, in which I got an A star, so I know what I'm talking about. So first of all, let's talk about the sources, like from where we should study O-levels Park Studies paper 1, which is basically history, okay? So the sources are, first of all, what I used to do is, I used to study from a book, which is, I will put a picture front page over here. And then, and the second source was MYM notes. And then the third was the Eftihal Haq's notes. So these were my three sources. Let's talk about how to study. So what I used to do was, first of all, I used to read the topic from my book for to understand the topic, the sequence of events, because if I don't, I am the person who needs to know what is happening so that I can learn something. So I just basically read the book first, and then I checked the MYM notes, because that contained oh yes, there's a YouTube channel, MYM, and I used to read that notes. And then I think if you are taking Park Studies, you know him, okay? So yes, he's a really good teacher, but I don't recommend taking tuitions, any kind of tuitions for Park Studies, okay? So first I used to study from the book, and then what I used to do is I used to see the MYM notes. What I used to do is I used to see the Iftal Haq's notes. They are the notes which you can learn exactly what's written in them, and you can still get an A or A star. And but if you're a person like me who needs to understand a topic first, then you need to read the book, okay? For 4-mark question, you're supposed to write 4 distinct points. First you can tell the date, and then you can tell what was in it. There can be 2 points for it, but if you talk about Government of India Act, you can tell how much how many seats were given to Muslims, something like that. You can mention 2 distinct points about what was in it, and then at last you can write what was the reaction of people on it, and that's it. You are done with your 4-mark question. So the next question is question number the 7-mark question, which is basically we have to give 3 paragraphs for it, and 1 paragraph should contain 1 developed point, and you can give examples and something to develop it, okay? And then if we talk about the 14-mark question, if we talk about the 3-mark question, that's basically the easiest question you can ever do. They will just ask you simply to identify points from the text, okay? You don't need any prior knowledge, yes. So if they ask you they ask you basically about identifying things, they can ask you questions like identify 3 Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah's views on freedom, and that's you can just see the paragraph and give the answer. Don't waste much time on it, okay? Okay, so then let's talk about the 14-mark question. For the 14-mark question, you're going to have you have to write 4 paragraphs, leaving the conclusion. Okay, basically you don't have to write any introduction, okay? I didn't write it in my I didn't write any introduction, and still I got the grades, okay? That's just waste of time, because you don't have time to write the introduction and things. Okay, so 14-mark question, you have to write 4 paragraphs, and you have to and after in each paragraph there should be 1 point, and if one in front paragraph you're going to describe Vande Mataram, you're going to describe what was it and then when was it released, whatever, but make sure that you basically link it to the question, okay? And then you can write And for the conclusion, at like which is going to be the fifth paragraph, you're supposed to write a really really developed conclusion. Like it should contain one point that you didn't mention there, like in the first four paragraphs. And yes, you have to write a develop point, one point in the conclusion to make it strong. Like whatever, you have to support one thing you're choosing, and then you have to write a positive point about that. Yes, like a point that you didn't mention in the first four paragraphs. Okay, so then if we talk about the 10-mark question, that's basically the same thing like the 14-mark question. You have the edge to skip one paragraph, but I don't recommend it. Okay, so but you should do it if you are short on time. Okay, so the first tip is like about time management. I know that in Pakshay's paper one, you are really short on time. You're really short on time, and you're like, so what? There's a tip for it. What you can do is set the time for each questions. Like you have to spend like you have to spend 4 minutes on the question if if it have 4 marks. But I'd recommend, spending 3 minutes and the 4-mark question, because that's the easy one and you just have to state things. For the 11th mark question, for the 11th mark question, sorry, for the 14th mark question, you should have spending maximum 15 minutes, okay? Like, and same like for the others, like you have to spend the time like for the question. The next step is the preparation, how you can prepare for it. Okay, so what I used to do is, like, I do know your situation, guys. I do know that when you're doing things, you're constantly thinking that you're forgetting things, like you don't know much. Like even if you study a topic in depth, you still think that you forgot that, but that's not reality. That's it. That's just your brain telling you that you forget that. So what can you do to solidify that? Is that you can write the question. Okay, practice by writing. Okay, if you're short on time, still write the points of the questions. Okay, so that you know that you know the stuff, you get the confidence to attend the paper, and that it will also help you in time management in the real exam. Okay, so the next tip is for the questions. Okay, one tip that I must give you is write as many facts as you can. Okay, like in the question. Okay, just forcefully add them, but make the context. Okay, like if you're stating any fact, you have to link it back to the question. Okay, but try to add as many facts as you can, because that basically adds up to your points. Okay, like if you're saying about that in Bengal the population of non-Muslims was more than Muslims, you should give the numerical value. Okay, you should try to memorize those. Okay, next tip is also about attempting the paper. It's first attempt the questions that you know the best, because you know what, you're going to spend so much time on the first question. I know that because I always do that. Okay, so what saved me is when I just try to attempt the question that I know the best first, so that I can if I even spend more time on it, I do have material to write. I'm not just annotating it. Okay, so I just try to I just do the first I just do the question that I know really well at first, because yes, your brain just basically spend more time on the first question. Okay, so if you guys want, you can buy my notes. They're available at really cheap price. They're basically a better version of the Hux notes. Actually, I have read 2 to 3 more books that added more points in each question, so that your answer have more facts and figures. So yes, or they're available at really cheap price of 500 rupees. If you want that, you can contact me at this email. or you can comment me down in the comment section if there's any problem. And yep, if you guys want, I can create a separate video on each topic. Like I can create a video on the 3D formers, like the separate videos on each topic. If you find this video helpful, please like the video and comment down the question in the comment section for whichever next video you want. I can cover every topic. And that's it for today's video. Do subscribe my channel to see more videos like this. And bye.